Boy, you all right, lad? You were moaning in your sleep and sweating buckets beside. Rolling on this ship got your stomach churning, has it? Hmm. Doesn't seem like seasickness now that I look at you. It'll be the eighth of then, I reckon. Some are more sensitive to this stuff than others, see? And we ain't too far from Vilbrand now, which is chock full of aetherites. No need to fret, though. You'll soon get used to it. Ugh, might as well have been bloomin' seasickness. Ship leaping about around like a demented chocobo today. I reckon I might head out to the deck, get myself a breath of fresh air. Limsalominsa's still a fair way off, in case you were wondering. Seeing as you're awake and all, how about you keep me company till we get there? Them youngins don't much care for conversation, see? Any road, Brennan's the name, and peddling's me trade. Ah, I smell that salty sea breeze. Now then, lad, judging by your unusual garments, I'd say you were one of them new adventurers, am I wrong? I knew it. Going wherever the wind blows, seeking fortune and glory. Now that's what I call living. So long as you can avoid dying, I mean. Ain't no secret that adventuring's a risky business these days, especially. What was it first attracted you to it? To win glory. Glory, eh? Well, if you're willing to take on them tasks other folks ain't, adventurers such as yourself can win fame, what point can buy. When you arrive in town, you'll want to report to the Adventurers Guild. You can find out everything you need to know about adventuring business in there. Just remember though, there's more important things than fortune and glory, such as breathing. Ain't no profit in being dead, and that's a fact. It's off the starboard bow, hungry colors. Pirates, bloody hells. Have no sense? Have you no sense? Get below. What is this world coming to? Pirates flying on ships flying Leminson colors? Bastards either have a boatload of balls or a bugger for all brains. Bugger or bugger all for brains. You can rest easy, friends. We made it out of cannon range. Ain't no buccaneer's bark that'll catch this feisty temptress once the wind's in her sails. That was too bleeding close. Glad one of us kept his head on his shoulders. I reckon I'd have lost mine otherwise. If them pirates give up the chase, we must be close to port. Let's head on deck and have a look, shall we? By the by, is this your first trip to Limsa? No. Thought not, but I'll wager there have been some changes since your last visit. Allow a journey itinerant to appraise you of the current state of affairs. Limsa's Ominza prides itself on being Eorzea's foremost naval power. Weren't too long ago that this place was ruled by pirates, but thanks to the current admiral's civil influence, the city-state could almost pass for a respectable nation. You'd never guess she was once a rum-swinging buccaneer herself. Of course, most folks ain't so quick to change. A town full of liberty-loving ruffians. You can imagine now how many naysayers and troublemakers she's got to deal with. Like them pirates who took a fancy to us just now. And if it weren't that one bad enough, I've heard this hogging range the coast just as bold as you please. Them are sea-dwelling beastmen the locals call fishbacks, in case you didn't know. Aha, at long last, land home. Behold, Limsa, a nation blessed by the ocean's bounty, and beloved Limlian goddess of the cannot figure the Limelian goddess of the navigation. You would think I would know how to say this?
On a windswept isle in the southwestern corner of the realm, amidst the roiling waves of the Lotamo Sea, lies the maritime city-state of Limsa Lominsa. To this haven for bandits and brigands, cutthroats and curs, seekers of both freedom and fortune, comes a lone adventurer. Lone yet not alone, for the hero's arrival has drawn the gaze of the nation's patron deity, Lim Lane. What realm-shaking fate has she descried in the churning waters of this mortal's future?
Here's where we part ways, son. I'm off to market to visit new wares. Then it's on to the high road for me. Here, I want you to have this, by way of thanks for saving me arse earlier. Hey, you never did tell me your name, did you? Well, here's an idea. Become the sort of storied personage I can brag about having met, and I'll consider us square.
Through peril and hardship, discovery and triumph, may the navigator guide this brave soul on his life's voyage. Till sea swallows all.
Now then, I'm sure you're itching to explore that adventurers are required to register their presence in the city, and without a bit of local knowledge, you are likely to get your throat slit in some piss-stinking alley. So, before you do anything else, get yourself over the Drowning Wench and enroll in the Adventurers Guild. It's not far, just to head down the street and speak with Grehefar. He'll show you how to work that big moving platform we call the Cruiser, and that'll take you up to the hub. Once you're there, you'll follow by the name of Badron. He's the proprietor of the ranch. He might curse like an ill southern sailor, but the man's got a soft spot for wide-eyed newcomers like yourself. He'll set you straight. Got all that? Good. Now run along, and may the navigator guide you on your journey. Welcome to Limsa. If you've a mind to visit the Drowning Wench, the Crow's Lift will take you there. Greetings to ye, lad. What'll it be? Ah, you ain't here for a drink, are you? You come with a mind to try your hand at venturing, I reckon. Well, you'll find no shortage of work here in Limsa. The name's Batterel, and this most hospitable of hostelries is the Drowning Wench. 'Tis also the home of the Adventurers Guild here in Limsa. That's why we've got a desk specifically for handling guild business. And why I seem to spend more time saving the necks of whelps like yourself than wetting the throats of me regulars. Adventurers have a knack for finding trouble, you see. Not that they need it in these parts, on account of there being trouble wherever you look. If you manage to steer clear of the fishbacks and the coal balls outside the city, the pirates on the inside will get you instead. And if they don't manage, there's always the Garlean Empire to finish the job. Oh, no one knows what they're planning, of course, but they're planning anything. But if they're planning anything, you can be sure it's to kill the lot of us. Aye, this town seems peaceful at a glance, but look again, and you will see people living in fear of what tomorrow might bring. And who can blame them after everything that happened? Eorzea took a mighty blow during the calamity, but our homes weren't the only thing we got wiped off the face of existence by that thrice-damned bastard of a dragon. It took our bleeding memories, too, and no one's been able to explain it in a way that makes an ounce of sense to me. None of the folks who saw it and lived to tell the tale seem to... None of what the folks saw and lived to tell the tale seem to agree on. The tale actually goes, 'tis all foggy, like recollection from an odd night of drink on the ale. You can imagine why people might fear the future if they can't rightly recall the past. But there is one thing we all remember, and that's the group of adventurers that laid down their lives to drag Eorzea back from the brink when she was bound but for the abyss. Well, I say we remember. Truth is, we ain't forgotten what they did for us. This goddamn calamity spawned memory force loss robbed us of their names. They won't even let us picture their damn faces. 'Tis like staring at a gull flying in front of the sun. All you see in your mind's eye is a shadow set against the blinding glare, and that's how every bugger describes it, by the way. give or take the odd goal. It's this what's got people calling them heroes and warriors of light. If Limsa ever goes to put this time of if Limsa's ever going to put this time of darkness behind it, it's going to need adventurers to help banish the fear. It's going to need new heroes like the ones we lost. Maybe one day you'll be one of them, and that's why any aid we can give to adventurers is effort well spent. What say you, lad? You willing to lend us your strength? Be thanks to ye and to the navigator and all. I knew she'd steer ye my way for a reason. But listen to me yattering on like sun-touched fishwife. 'Tis night time, we got to ye. 'Tis not time. Sorry, 'tis 8 time we get ye mark on the book. Put your scroll right here. Congratulations, you are now an upstanding member of the Adventurers Guild. You there, adventurer. You sailed in on the last venture at the ferry. The captain reported being attacked by a pirate vessel, and several witnesses have testified independently that a passenger matching your description went out on the deck moments before the incident took place, sending your friend signals were you. Now hold on just a moment there, officer. You got the wrong bloke. This fine upstanding young gent is me dear departed grandmother's sister's niece's cousin's closest companion. The lad wouldn't be caught dead fraternizing with such unsavory elements. Is that right? You are surely aware of the recent kidnappings. Respectfully, then we cannot be too trusting of outsiders at times when the loyalty of even our closest friend is in doubt. Aye, you make a good point there, officer. Very good point. Very wise. You needn't worry, though. I keep one eye open all the time. Me and 2 more others than not. Now, sir, what say ye to a tankard of my finest ale afore you return to your duties, eh? Now that watered-down cup of piss like last time, I should hope. I ain't got the faintest idea of what you're on about, officer. The wench might offer some of the cheapest grog this side of the Strait of Merylthor, but that don't mean it won't be get you good and pickled. And look, there's a chair over there just crying out to be sit on. So kick off them heavy boots, eh? You'll have to excuse these eager, bloody yellow jackets. They've been a spat of kidnappings lately, see, and they ain't got a clue who's behind them. Naturally, they've taken to clapping irons on anyone who looks vaguely suspicious, which means adventurers visiting and pretty much every bugger else in this town. Don't take it personal, though. Us Leminsons can be a headstrong bunch of bastards. 'Tis true, but given time will grow on you. Now, where was I? Oh, aye. Welcome to Limsa Leminsa. The sea is as green as the faces of me patrons after a few too many black-belly whiskeys. Now, take a moment and gather your wits. We'll get started with learning you the way of the city. Close to home. Bataron, proprietor of the Drowning Wench, wants you to perform 3 tasks that will help you learn the fundamentals of adventure. Alright then, let's start off nice and easy with 3 tasks that'll help you get used to life here in Limsa. Firstly, if you head down down a floor, then point your nose to the west. You'll get an eye for a great glowing crystal in the middle of the corridor. That's an aetherite, a device that can move ye from one place to another in the blink of an eye. Ain't no swifter way of traveling, providing there's an aetherite where you want to go, of course. Have a chat with a yellow jacket on the guard down there, and you'll be treated to a lecture on the workings of the device. Before you do that, remember to touch the thing. Strange as it sounds, it won't work till you have. Second on the list is the marketplace. You'll find weapons and armor and all your adventurers' bits and pieces for sale in the district with what lies beyond the aetherite. Don't go throwing all your gear around just yet though. You get fleeced quicker than you can say, where'd my coast point get so lost? Why my coin purse so light? Have a word with Swazzleblade instead. He's head of Merchant League, by the way. Give him this old octant, and he'll treat you well. The last of you helpful hints. I suggest you meet fellow axe wielders at the Marauders Guild. I guarantee you'll learn a few new tricks for your swinging that head splitter of yours. If you join their crew, Lefota at the front desk is the one to get you started. Got all that, lad? See to them 3 times on your little jaunt around town and help you work out where to sit everything is. Now I've got a bit. Now you best be getting on run along, eh? Plug her in. There I go, sending you off to tell you some crucial. That bloody calamity's made a lot of mess in my memory, I swear. Well, that all that or the ale any road. While you're out, if you happen to pass any poor sods that look like they might need your help, consider giving their tale a woe a listen. Sounds like a chore, I admit. But you never know what interesting opportunities could be lurking out there. Just waiting for you to stumble on them. For example, Ninia over yonder has been casting glances at ye since she waltzed in. Why not lend it here and see what she has to say? You'll like to find yourself running odd errands at the beginning, but once you build a reputation as a man folks can trust, the jobs will get harder and the rewards more generous. If you have time, I'd also advise you seek advice in the smith here at the wench. The lads as bear the title. Some fine advice for them what are just starting out in the profession. And that, my lad, is how you go about becoming a legend among adventurers. Yeah, not until later. Making a name. Ninia, adventurer, a veteran adventurer. That's some information that might be of use to you. Well, would you look at this, shiny new adventurer? Listen close, lad. I've some information that might just help you on the map here in Lipsa. I was passing through Bulwark Hall, but below not too long ago, and saw a bunch of herbs just scattered around on the ground. Now, I'm not entirely certain, but I think there might have been the black market where it was dream flower. Limsa Lemons is a busy port, and not all the merchants that blow across the strait are above board. If you know what I mean. How that plant ended up as a mass, who knows? Might have been a deal gone bad. The important thing is that you make a name for yourself by handing it in. Speak to Scanriel, and she'll get you down to the first floor. Then, all you have to do is pick up the herbs and take them to Aldskiff at the Octant. Being a worldly captain, he knows a thing or two about such Let me go past here, or does the plot? Nope. Yeah, you have to go down. closer to visible above all below. The hose lift is ready for move. Alright, can I go back up to go get my stuff? Yes. Portal. The joys of being an old player and making a new character, and having a lot of stuff to clear. Yeah, 4 pieces, 30% XP bonus. Let's go ahead and hide that piece on there. Nope. M&D. What is this? I I'm Old Skiff. You have some herbs you wish me to examine. A peculiar herb, a common weed rumored to have relaxing properties when either ingested or smoked. Yes, as you suspected, these are the highly illegal blooms known as dream flowers. They are the prime ingredient in the creation of sonia, a substance whose fragrance is said to lull sniffers' mind into the sleep of death. Forgive me, I could not resist the jest. These herbs are not more than Athok lavender, a common enough export in Limsa Minsa. In fact, they probably spilled from the crates that were loaded onto my very own ship. I think someone has been having a bit of fun with you, son. Don't worry. He learned a few things and made a new acquaintance. Well met. Another nice adventure. I, Battering, has sent more than a few of your kind this way lately. What do you mean, my kind? I am Soon Himmel, one of the Yellow Jackets tasked with keeping the peace in the city. It is also my charge to provide guidance in the use of the device. Fear not, I shall be brief. Aetherites are crystalline structures that tap into ethereal energy. They are properly used as a means to travel swiftly from one place to another. Return and teleport, the most common transportation spells, make direct use of Aetherite and their connection to the flow of Aether. And as these devices are found in almost every corner of Eorzea, any adventurer worthy of their name will wish to seek them out and tune himself to each one. Once you've expanded your horizons beyond the walls of the city, you will soon find yourself performing the act of attunement as a matter of course. This, however, no need for unseemly haste. There is, however, no need for unseemly haste. The Aetherites found in and around the city will be sufficient for the present, I assure you. Should you wish to learn more about Aetherites or of transportation magic, I will be here to answer some questions. Answer questions. By default, that's the only way. Fine evening, sir. Welcome to the most monumental marketplace in the grand where every shelf groans under the weight gray brown eyeballs Now, as much as I would love to elaborate on the unrivaled quality of our merchandise, I must have some cargo from recently arrived. You bear a gift of battle. By the navigator I was along with a week's pay and 7 bells of intoxicated memories. An instrument widely used in maritime navigation. This one appears to be I am most grateful to have it back. This tool is a keepsake for my days as a ship captain, you see. Needless to say, your good deed must be repaid. And what better recompense than wisdom of the last mentioned? If it is simple and sturdy adventuring equipment you seek, you need look no further than the east and west arms of Hawker's Alley. Lest you doubt, each gear you invest in arms and armor will be money well spent. Adventuring is, after all, a dangerous profession by its very nature. It goes without saying that Hawker's Alley boasts stalls specializing in the tools of every martial discipline imaginable. And, with but a few steps, are bazaars and apothecaries that will most amply supply your potions and perishable needs. Our keen-eyed agents procure a frankly befuddling range of wares during their sojourns to distant shores, so it pays to become familiar with the types and prices of the goods offered at each stall. Such knowledge will serve you well if your purse is light on or your time is short. But verbal instructions of this kind will only profit you so much. Experience has been a surest teacher, if not the kindest. I invite you to explore the market for yourself. Why am I doing this the hard way? Get this first, then get the other one, and teleport it back. That's smart. Not a mistake. One down. Oh, more. I know. Okay, because I'm a whale. Then here. The red hair. And the regular whale. So I get to be not only a lunar whale, but a regular whale. Oh, the adventurer. Curious about the Marauders Guild, are you? Any axe worth swinging needs 2 hands on the heft and has a blade what can make short work of a galley mast. That's the kind of weapon our members train to use, with deceptive swiftness, all too predictable for us. Are you interested in hearing more, lad? Then, why don't I give you a short version of the guild's founding history, and we can go from there. It all starts with ships, you see. What have ships got to do with axes, you ask? Well, building them would be pretty bloody difficult without a sturdy tool to lop down trees for 2 men. And since only the navigator herself knows when a ship run afoul of storm or worse, it makes sense for the crew's carpenter to carry an axe on board. It all started with shipbuilding and ship repairing. What am I boring you? As I was saying, any tools on the ship can become a weapon, and the axe was perfect for hooking yourself over the rail of an enemy vessel, letting loose in a whirl of steel, and generally laying waste all around about you. As more seafarers took up the axe as their weapon of choice, so did the bloody art of marauder began to take shape. especially among pirates, where strength and skill decided your place in the world. With an eye to assembling crews, battle-ready marines, the pirates started teaching the proper way to shot land. Oh, sorry. With an eye to assembling crews of battle-ready marines, the pirates started teaching the proper way to shot enemy recruits, and that's how the Marauders Guild was created. But once the Gladian Accord was signed to unite the Maelstrom and the pirates against Limsa's enemies, the whole game changed. The Accord itself was a dismal failure, of course, but the Marauders Guild was never the same. It was taken over, restructured, and purged of its pirates elements. It had been reborn as an institution dedicated to naught but the teaching of axe fighting. The members of this new Marauders Guild weren't no greed-driven cutthroats neither. They were warriors who sought to use their martial prowess for the good of society. If mastering the axe is your heart's desire, then you find no better arena in which to practice your swings. Think it over. Let me know if you fancy joining our ranks. I have a feeling I'll be seeing more of you soon, lad. You decided to swing an axe with the Marauders then? Way of the Marauder. Blathota wishes you to reaffirm your desire to join the Marauders Guild. Alright then, all that needs to be doing now is to speak with the Axe Master himself. Sounds simple? I've seen some folks slink out the door rather than put themselves in the path of that unnerving gaze. That's the bloke right there in the middle of the room. Wernzone's his name. Put some steel in your spine and look him straight in the eye when you talk to him, lad. Good Yes, I'm Rizone, Axe Master they call me. Not the most imaginative of titles, I agree, but one should not underestimate the value of directness. I welcome your interest in our guild. The art of the Marauder is used to rend, to cleave, and to destroy. It is not our way to simply outfight our adversaries, we seek to overwhelm them. A Marauder must be the most powerful and enduring presence on the battlefield. We must account for the most enemies defeated. Our role in combat is that of a steel whirlwind dealing death and destruction without equal. No doubt that question has already been put to you by Thata, but once more shall I challenge your commitment. Are you prepared for the bloody carnage that awaits an initiate of the Marauders Guild? Are you prepared for carnage? Shura no Michie. Very well. Your name? Attend me well. Then, Endo, hold fast to this moment of dedication. The path of the Marauder is a jagged and perilous one. The blood that spills at your feet will oftentimes be your own. You stand now as a student of the axe. Let us waste no time in testing the edge of your chosen weapon. Yet you shall wade straightway into combat, as befits a novice of our discipline. Go forth and slay bleeding, scurrying, crawling pests that plague the outskirts of Lumensa. Lost lambs, wharf rats, and little ladybugs shall be your piteous adversaries this day. Return to me once 3 of each creature has fallen to your blade. You are returned to me a different man. Already your face shows a harder cast, a realization of the slaughter of which you are capable. But there is much training to be done before you wield the axe to its fullest potential. Learn well your lessons, build your strength, and make of each swing instinctive act. You shall have this hunting log to aid you in that endeavor. Its pages are marked with opponents suitable for honing your skills. There are, of course, myriad methods by which you might improve your technique, but when the way forward is not readily apparent, the law provides a reliable source of challenges. Every blow of your weapon will clear another step towards the mastery of the marauder. Implacable, relentless, such must be your momentum on both the practice grounds and the battlefield. Axe in the Stone. Axemaster was in Rin, Wyron Zone, Rin. Wyron Zone. Wern Zone. I'm gonna say Wern Zone. Wern Zone. Wern Zone wishes you to experience a traditional Marauder training method. Endo, you approach me with a marauder's stride, determined, unswerving, and bereft of the hesitation that marked our first meeting. I'm pleased. The time has come for you to begin a new stage in your training. Now, what set the axe aside from the gladius or the dagger? It is the raw, unstoppable destruction brought by its thick, heavy blade, and that overwhelming power can only be properly directed by extraordinary physical strength. Thus, we come to the core of this day's lesson. Such strength as a marauder must possess is developed through traditional methods passed down through the generations of the guild, a method that you too shall be taught to employ. Present yourself to Bronbar in the practice arenas downstairs, and he shall instruct you. I swear to God, these frickin' row names hurt my brain on how to pronounce them all the time. The Axemaster told me you need to know. The name's Bronbar. Good it is to me, Marauder. Now, we axe wielders build strength and control by splitting boulders. That's right. Our traditional methods involve smashing a rock with the axe. You can't just use a old swing. You need to hit the rock just so. Rockin, fellow Marauder, is waiting just outside the Zypher by the bridge over the Rose River. She'll tell you how it's done. slot. Rope you. Greetings, lad. Ready to split some stone up? Three nice rocks. Nice hard rocks for you. Build up a sweat. To build up a sweat. Don't try nothing fancy now. Just hit him with a good old solid heavy sword. That's the way to do it, lad. Now you got the idea. Why don't you have at him a little harder with that heavy swing of yours? Hold nothing back. See you're natural. The head's still ringing with the sound of cracking boulders. Take yourself back to Axemaster Warrenson and let him know you're ready for some harm. Has the training loosened your muscles and focused your mind yet, Joe? An urgent request for help has arrived from Red Rooster Stead, and I have chosen you to respond. It appears a hostile group of megala crabs has unwittingly elected itself the next test of your prowess. As this is your first outing on official marauder duty, you shall be accompanied by a veteran conjurer by the name of Sulfurwing. She awaits you on the floor below. May devastation follow your way. Indo, I know who you are. My brother often has me escort his fledgling marauders on their more dangerous tasks. I suppose Renzone expects me to give you the details, eh? Very well. It seems the farmers need us to clear out a megala crab nest near the Morning Widow in Lenosha. I shall trust you to find your own way there. Just don't forget your axe. Pretty sure you already showed me down in Raphic. What problems are you facing? Grenade seeks help for a growing problem in Limsa. An alarming number of citizens have gone missing of late, though I suspect you've already heard the rumors. It is essential that we ascertain their safety. To this end, I have prepared a list based on reports from our citizens. Would you be so kind as to deliver this to my colleague in Goldbrook Hall? Indelekia is her name. My thanks in advance, my friend. Welcome to Limsa. If there's aught you would like to know, feel free to... You've got something for me, you say? Missing persons list? Not sure I follow. A disturbingly long list of people who have gone missing recently. Thanks for bringing me this. Be sure to remember this. Missing persons reappear in the count on this spot. Most folks even enter the city via the site. This movement has passed through both of them. That's why I'm on constant watching. I've been doing this for so long. I've become a pretty good judge of character. There's shady characters lurking about. Rest assured I can take a look at help keeping the city a bright and cheery place. Sounds like you're already in Yellow Jacket's great good grace. You're truly our model adventurer, a paragon among your fellows. Do you think you could do me a favor? You see, I'm supposed to go and fill up the street lamps with oil so that they'll stay lit through the night. But thanks to business of the missing people, I can't simply delete my post. You could tend to the street ends of my stead and be eternally grateful. Oh, and when you're finished, please fetch more oil from Sisyphus in the Fisherman's Guild. We're running low here. She has care of our stores. A little bit off the track. Legend adventurer. Can't be too busy about. We'll work with it. Plus, I don't want to get knifed in the dark alley. I need at least be able to see the night. Remember, it essentially be required early on for you to do every quest available in order to continue the main story quest. I mean, you could always go out and hunt stuff, but the most efficient thing to do was to go and do every single quest in the city, and that would get you basically to level 5 once you've done all the other stuff. You're doing what? What am I going to do with that girl? She has the nerve to ask me for work, plod and tripe about her savings, only to foist it off on the first adventure that comes along. Being young and pretty does not give you a license to shirk responsibility. She'll get her oil and alright, and a piece of my mind to boot. Like there's not a connection to the main thread with the missing people. I can't remember if that is part of the main story quest line or if there is a quest chain that tells us who is responsible. Nobody's home. Perhaps they knew we were coming. Aid! I need aid! Please, it's my grandson. Them snips have got him. I told Sigurd not to get too close. I told him. Get that ready weapon. Get that weapon ready. We need to move now. Well, I'm going to keep these up instead of going and helping somebody else. More mutants. Level 7, so I don't have to worry about level 6. Ah, bugger! Bugger and shite! Get away from me, you bloody great bastard! Probably also should be ready to fight standing in front of this crab without a weapon out. Just, you know, food for thought. Got room for one more. Another head all the time. Hey, go on, boy. Oh, bullshit. He gets to use what now? I mean, I basically have 1.5 max when I get Thank you, mister. Thought it was dead for sure. Can't even play outside no more. With all the scary monsters about. Me and Mom and Dad. We were both killed by some nasty bugger not so long ago. And alright, there is a mountain. I bet you could beat it. Aye! Make it pay for what it did to me folks. You take it easy, son, now. You take it easy now, son. There's a whole guild for strapping lads and lasses like Endo here who will be glad to do just that. All you need to do is head home with your grandpa. You let us worry about that big, nasty bugger. Consider your first duty a success. It's time you head back as well before Wyzone begins to worry I've left your corpse for the crabs. So you've shattered the shells of the megalo crab and saved the life of a child into the bargain. Thus does our violent craft prove its merits. You've well done, Endo. Though no longer a threat to the farmers, you should know that it is unusual for such crabs to be found so near the stead. By all accounts, these creatures were ousted from their usual feeding grounds by a more fierce beast. The beast I speak of is a known terror in the land of Emotion, ever seeking to expand its territory. And the boy's parents were two of the many victims to fall to its rampages. It is a threat that must be dealt with ere long. Do thoughts of vengeance flit through your mind, Endo? Nurture those urges, but do not act upon them. This monstrosity is far beyond your present skills. If you would answer the lad's cry for revenge, then you must grow strong, become the rampaging behemoth that challenged the winds. finally returned to Brandon. Ah, there you are, Endo. Enjoy your jaunt around the city, did you? If you mean to base yourself in Limsa Lominsa, that won't be the last time you'll be visiting them 3 places. And now you've got some idea what's where, you can start exploring the rest of the town. You've shown a good ear for listening, lad. Stick with old Brennan, and you'll go far. On to Summerford. Battering proprietor of the Drowning Wench wants you to lend a hand at Summerford Farms. Still Nimsa, are you, Endo? How'd you fancy a trip outside the city walls? I'd like you to visit an orchard by the name of Summerford Farms. Ever heard of the place? Donor Stolwyn. He's an old mate of mine. He's got himself a crew mostly reformed pirate types, if you can believe that, and has been trying to bring a bit of life back to the fields after the calamity ruined the soil. He mentioned needing another hand or two, and your name sprang to mind. I gave you a glowing recommendation, so make sure you work hard and impress the old bastard. You need directions. The place ain't hard to find. Just take the Zypher Gate out to the city and follow the road northeast. Does it actually have anything at this point? It should. More than likely I will do everything I can with the support, except for the additional dungeons, because they're not all in there yet. Swouse. Any of you guys on the hit list? Nope. And yeah, I gotta replace this because here. Why do I have 3? Oh, because I was on key items, that's why I'm like, something's not right here. Right. Buy that. I'm not going to buy anything that isn't item level 5 that I don't need to replace. Except for the stuff that's actually better. Ah, that is a bit of a problem. Sell this stuff. Yeah, I'll buy that back. that. I guess I'll hold on to that until. I hate the fat chocobo mounts. But my dumbass bought them. Tad bit too poor. Hopefully it doesn't require the level 5 movement right away, otherwise I'll have to drop it. Or maybe the reward will give me what I need. Let's right now. Stout. Ah, you must be the adventurer Baron promised to send along. Ender Weatherfall, wasn't it? You honored his word. So that's a good start. I'm Stalwart, the old bastard, as Baron lightly described me. This here is my humble orchard. A good number of lads and lasses working here once terrorized the high seas. And if you're wondering why I employ these scrags, well, they used to crew my ship, my pirate ship. But the calamity did for our ship like it did so many others, and I was sore wounded into the bargain. I had to feed myself and my crew somehow, and Admiral Merrillib's initiative to get us landlocked buccaneers working in the field seemed too fine an offer to refuse. Well, it turns out you can take a pirate away from the sea, but you can't take the sea away from the pirate. A lot of my blokes just never took to tending the soil, you see. And Unfortunately, the botanists I called to train them have been wringing their hands in black despair. With so much work piling up, I need a tougher soul like you to step in and help where it's needed. Overpowered. Wake of destruction. I'll wait until I get to level 10 to do it. Stalwyn, owner of the Summerford Farm, wishes to inspect your equipment and thereby gauge your readiness for the tasks he has in mind. I've a mind to set you a task, Fall. But before I do, I need to be sure you're properly kitted out. Pirates don't call Cantabile dandies, you understand. It might well be that the ones here have traded in their cutlasses for cocktails, but they're still rogues at heart. I know a solid set of gear when I see them. Come back when you think you're more suitably equipped. Let's have a look at you, shall we? Oh ho! As long as you're this well covered, I don't feel guilt throwing you to the sharks. Erstwhile buccaneers on ornery rot. They rage in love for the sea, and care little for laws of the land. But they respect strength, and by the looks of you, I'd say you'll have little trouble getting their attention. Evanfall. That aura of confidence tells me you've not been idle since we last met 5 seconds ago. I hope I've read you aright, for I've a task that requires the attention of a capable adventurer. Might that adventurer be you? Lurkers in the grotto. Stalwyn, the owner of the Summerford Farms, has a task for a competent adventurer. Good to hear. Then I shall lay before you a sorry tale. You have heard rumors of the abductions. Aye, citizens have been disappearing from every corner of this land as if plucked from the face of hiding, boots and all, by an unseen hand. And what's this got to do with the Summerford Farms, you might ask? Well, that remains to be seen. But it seems a collection of right unsavory fellows with azure or tattooed faces has been creeping up to the edge of the field and spying on my yard. Now, I doubt anyone would enjoy being scrutinized by such savages at the best of times. The farmhands are convinced that they're the kidnappers of rumors, come for their hides. Needless to say, they're besides themselves with worry. Their work's suffering for it, which is the very last thing I need when my old crewmen are still getting used to their new jobs. 'Tis a struggle to get them to leave the farmhouse of a morning. That is, as they say, where you come in. Would you be willing to investigate these tattooed thugs for me? Good lad. The sooner we get to the bottom of this, the sooner this place will start to resemble a working farm again. I suggest you begin by having a look around Seasong Grotto. If reports are to be believed, our unwelcome visitors have occupied the place. Be careful though, Evanfall. I couldn't say for sure what manner of miscreants we're dealing with here. If they are kidnappers, well, just be on your guard, all right? That's not right. Oh, forgot that it. I was looking for my statuses on there, thinking that was statuses, when it wasn't. That's correct. Level sync to 9. Well, I won't have my tank stance, which wouldn't exactly want me to have that on.
I am the waves that bear. I am the winds that guide. I am the evening stars. I am the morning sky. I am born of the sea, and there shall I die. Thus reads the sailor's requiem, carved into yonder stone. Such words well describe the manner in which the citizens of Limsa Lominsa live their lives. It is both a litany against misfortune for those out on the waves, and a prayer that the souls of those who perish on land might find their way back to the sea. Ah, you are the adventurer I've seen around Summerford Farms. I thought myself on the trail of the kidnappers, but it would seem I have missed my mark. Or perhaps not. As I suspected, the etheric disturbance here is no natural occurrence. Nor is it a coincidence that the two of us should come here in search of those responsible for the disappearances, only to be attacked. But who stands to benefit from the keeping of this secret? Oh, such thoughts must wait. Let us attend to the task at hand, unpleasant though it be.
Send something to right. Be on your guard. Where the keep your focus on the battle. Keep your pending focus. More and more visitors slated just to be overwhelmed. Press the attack. The battle is
Phew!
Feel. Think. Crystal Bearer. I am Hydaelyn, all made one. A light there once was that shone throughout this realm, yet it hath since grown dim. And as it hath faltered, so hath darkness risen up in its stead, presaging an end to life. For the sake of all, I beseech thee, deliver us from this fate. The power to banish the darkness dwelleth in the crystals of light. Journey forth and lay claim to them. By thy deeds shall the crystals reveal themselves to thee. Only believe, for the light liveth in thy heart. Shine thy light on all creation.
Awake again, are we? Aha! The poor creature's fury was kindled with cruel forethought. See this blade? I found it in the Gubu's back. I have seen knives of this kind before. They are most commonly used for the cutting of rope. It would appear our culprits are seafaring men of some persuasion, piratical being the most probable. In any event, you seem much recovered from your sudden affliction. I confess, I was rather taken aback when you collapsed at the very moment of our victory. Mayhap a surfeit of ether? I beg your pardon. A towering crystal. I'm sure I don't... Oh! Well, well. This has been a day of unexpected revelations. I must continue my investigation. In the meantime, I suggest you deliver this knife to your patron, along with a warning concerning the pirate's probable involvement in this murky business. The days ahead promise little rest, I fear. May our paths cross again, under the light of the crystal.
I don't think I actually attuned to the crystal. Teleport. Heavenfall, right glad am I to see you to safe return. My lads were all gabbling about, hearing what sounded like all seven hells breaking loose in your water, and feared I'd sent you to your death. If you were in the middle of that commotion, I hope that you did something interesting. I'd hate to think you risked your life, but not. Blunt sailor's knife, from cutting rope to removing barnacles, from gutting fish and gutting borders on a ship, there's thousands of use for a knife. A blade pulled in the back of the creature you slew in the cave, eh? Aye, I'd agree that such a knife would be part of any seafaring man's kit. I'm starting to think these ruffians are pirates come to lure my farmhands back to a life of plunder. Chances are they didn't take kindly to your appearance on their doorstep and set a maddened gooboo on you. Aye, the pirates have been adding to their numbers of late. I'd best warn the lads and lasses in my employ to be on their guard against their schemes. You met someone else at the grotto, a woman with a strange contraption. Ah, Ishtola. She's been in Limsa for a good while now. Her studies of the Aether often bring her to Summerford, so her presence at the grotto is hardly unusual. She's an hard-working lass, I grant you, but she's not the kind to associate with kidnappers. You may take my word for that. Where trust should be lacking is in those yeomen of mine, who have yet to wholly relinquish their pirate past. The temptation to return to the free and easy life of a buccaneer may prove too strong to resist. You have my thanks, Eppenfall. If it weren't for the efforts of a stalwart adventurer like yourself, this farm would be in a far worse state than it is. Just you keep on lending your talents to those in need, eh? Help bringing Limsa the brighter future she deserves. Washed up. Stalrins is up in arms as his hired hands are nowhere to be found. That sea slot Severin and his lot never around. There's work to be done. I'd sooner hire you for the sake of getting things done, but them the rapscallions would never. Round them up and let them know that Stalwin would like a word, and don't take no for an answer. Work? Can't work with my hands are the fifth fool lifting this mug. You know I'd rager. Me last kill, you'd never guess what I'm drinking. Swill wine. Well, you're right about the swill part, I reckon. Might be worth a day's coin doing stalwart's chores if it'll afford me a taste of proper grog. am I supposed to work with an empty stomach? Go on, have a guess at what I had for breakfast. Ash tuna. What? God, how'd you know? It's my breath aiding. Probably smells as wooden as the food tasted. But I know why you're here. I'd just as soon get some real food, but I ain't got one to reject the summons from the capital. Axes were made for splitting skulls, not stumps. You know what I did in my sailing days? Want to slaughter? You bet your beard I did. Those were the days. I reckon now I'll have to be satisfied taking my axe to the triggers. So Stalin sent you. What do you reckon I say to that? Work is for the weak and witless. Damn right. Didn't get where I am by taking guff off of any glorified gods. But I suppose I can see what he wants to get him off my back. I'm Severin. You're the old man's errand boy now. Tell my dear old captain not to wet his britches. I'll be along. Oh, and just so we're clear, I don't care for landlubbers. Go find the chocobo you rode in on. Ride out. Ride on out. Continue to impress, lass. All but seven are accountable. It's no fault of yours he squirmed out. I've let that worm wriggle through my fingers more times than I can count. But rest assured, the next time I see him, I'll put him squarely in the dirt where all such brain damage indeed. I don't need that. Double dealing. Stalwern worries his sack of oranges will not reach the Lithagran checkpoint as planned. Pains me to say, but all the gil in the world can't buy loyalty. There are some like you who can be trusted, but there are others. Until now, I've had no choice but to rely on the charlatan Severin, even though I am full aware he's been doing shady deals behind my back. More than once I've heard tell of improper trading with goblins. I wouldn't be the least surprised if that were happening right now. Not a bell ago, the sack of oranges vanished, as did Severin. I want you to find and confront the bastard from me, Evanfall. I'm sure there's wrongdoing afoot, so be sure to doubt anything. Oh my god, the emote and the quest chain, or the quest dialogue, or whatever you want to call it, quest record. Basically, you need to be able to hear me. I'll slightly pull down that. What's this now? Someone sent you for the oranges. So the old bugger had known all this time. What does it matter anyways? Listen, you're one of those goody-goody adventures types, right? Go rescue me mates from those double-dealing goblins. They're just over yonder by the bonfire. I owe you one. Would have gotten away myself if not for servants shoving me aside. Severin. When come, my dodo would have been cooked. Cooked dodo. Severin sent you? Ha! The way he flew out of here, I was sure he'd sold us down the river. You saved me, mates, and for that I owe you. Suppose I should be ashamed. Couldn't clean up my own mess. But a pirate knows no shame. I've no qualms about going back on my word. I'm only giving you this sack, 'cause I like the cut of your jib. Take this to Ossine, and send him my regards. Ossine. What have we here? A delivery from Somerville Farm, and as scheduled. Ha! There's a first time for everything. A burlap bag packed choke full of juicy, ripe Venetian oranges. Well, look at that. Not a single one missing either. About the only thing not here are those bagmen, and I don't miss them one bit. Here's Stalwern's payment in full. With you, I can trust it'll reach him. Honestly, right now, save myself a trip. Back in one piece, that's a relief. How did you fare, people? Sack of gill, payment for the sack of Venetian oranges. Ah, this is what I was aiming for. Looks to be all I was owed, all right. Though I'd be telling you false if I claimed I had not held out more hope for Severin. I was even willing to overlook the skimming off the top, to sell us short in favor of those god-forsaken goblins. You do well to mind yourself around that two-gill cheat. If he'd leave his own mates for dead, there's no telling what he'd do to you. As much as I would like to continue wearing the thing. Low maintenance. Gerkant seeks fertile soil to improve the yield of his newly plowed fields. Blessed at this rate, the crops will never be ready for harvest. If only we had black loam, just a bit could send our stocks soaring. I'll bet Rotwida knows where you might find some. Perhaps you might pay her a visit in the orchard. My accent is all over the place. Well, I shall look as jank as can be. That Gerkant's got a head of cabbage if he thinks I'm fetching him any black loam. But if you dare to pinch some from the cook pot, then be my guest. Just mind yourself. Don't get trampled by the aurochs that dwell here. Once you have 3 bushel worth, take the black loam to Frewall at the Tiller's Rest. He'll know what to do. Oh, they don't tell you it's shit? They used to tell you shit, but this is several removed from Alright, we're working our way to you. Alright, come on, motherfucker. Overpower when it was in Pwn. We did lose some flavor with the pruning of the MSQ, but it absolutely needed to be done for ARR because there's just too much. You aggro, you die. Could have lived. Ah, even the weeds wither and die in this desolate dirt. Black loam, quite literally a steaming sack of shite. But a bit of this black loam ought to change all that. I haven't seen any in ages. Gathering black loam's not for the weak of will, nor the weak of stomach, eh? Oh, don't tell me Gurkant and Rotoga neglected to mention where black loam comes from. Well, sure you'd figure it out if you're out on your own from the cloying stench. It comes from the Auroch's lair of all places. Well, why dwell on who misled whom about what? What matters is that your efforts have brought us the black loam, and we can expect a bountiful harvest as a result. Thank you. Plowshares to swords as opposed to swords to plowshares. Prifball needs a stolen farm tool recovered. Confounded pirates. They've known nothing of tilling, only killing. Stealing our shovels to melt and forge them into axes of all things. They're quite the hand that feeds. They're biting the hands that feed them. The mangy mongrels. I'd love to teach those curs a lesson in obedience myself. If I hadn't sworn to Stalwern that I wouldn't fight no more. So, I need to bring back our farm tools and make sure those dogs reap what they've sown. I need you to bring back our farm tools, and they reap what they've sown. Make sure those dogs reap what they've sown. Job done. I would totally read your name as Wide Loaf, ignoring the A. I wonder what those sea dogs will try stealing when there's no harvest. Stolen farm tools. Without tools like these, the tillers who frequent Tiller's Rest would have a hard time tilling. Good to see the tools back in serviceable conditions, which will be more than we can say about Severin when we get our hands on him. The wretch likely had a role in the theft. Spied him meeting the pirates in secret, I did. I couldn't care less if the wastrel won't work. But when he consorts with cut purses that take our tools away, he's crossed the line. Stalwern ought to know what the sort of scallywag he's dealing with. Take a word to him, would you? pirates making off with our tools. Frewall did well not to take matters into his own hands. The last thing I need is blood on my crops. But I'll be damned if Severin thinks he can take us for fool. His treachery won't go unpunished. Bronze Lapras. Come to expect a great deal from you all, and you've never once let me down. Yet, what I'd ask you now goes beyond aught I've asked before. Would you hear my plea all the same? Just deserts. Stalwyn has reason to believe Severin is up to no good. Something must be done. It eases my mind to have you here. You're no doubt familiar with that scoundrel Severin by now. Well, the scheming scapegrace is at it again. Since that letter came for him, he's been skulking about in the manner he does when he's up to no good. Now, he's rounding up his rogues and buggering off with nary a word to anyone. I've grown accustomed to his insolence, but something tells me this is different. I ain't expecting it ain't exactly damning, but when last I had words with him, he didn't look defiant so much as hunted. I can't help thinking he's gone looking for trouble and found more than he wanted. So, I was hoping you might hunt his sorry hide down and drag it back here before it's too late. An ungrateful little cur bites me every chance he gets. I can't quite bring myself to cut him loose. I suppose he reminds me a bit of my younger self. Suffice to say, I'd rather he didn't come to a sticky end. As for how to find him, I'd try Grenwida at the Aetherite. She was the last one to see him. I dare say she's been able to tell you where he's headed. She'll be able to tell you where he's headed. Nothing that passes through those gates escapes my notice. I saw the Rouser and his rabble set out to Woad Whisper Canyon not long ago, singing about drinking themselves stupider. Cheeky sods said I should join them. I told them I'd rather shrivel up than sip whatever it was that had pickled their brains. If you find the idle swine, be sure to give them a cuff round the ear for me, will you? Of all the dirty, deceitful, downright dastardly deeds that slippery bastard's done. Claiming to take the lads out for a drink only to lead us straight to a bloody trap. It don't get no lower than that. course, I've learned to stay a step ahead of old Severin, so I was ready, but the others weren't so lucky. You gotta help them. My axe may as well have been a white flag for all good it did. Hope you fare better, or the sorry bastards in there are done for. Severin might have got us into this mess, but I ain't about to let him give his life for us. I'd sooner bow to a fishback than be in that conniving bastard's debt. Toms! A fine death. A true knave. You betray even yourself, Severin. We were prepared to overlook the matter of your desertion on the condition that you provided us with suitable replacements. That was the agreement. Yet, your latest change of heart leaves your debt to us unpaid. Few are they who betray the Serpent Reavers twice. You will not do so a third time. Cowering behind your protector will only delay the inevitable. Honorless wretch, your life is all you have left. And worthless though it be, we shall take it. O mournful voice of creation, grant yet this humble stone a soul, that it may wake to life. But are you strong enough to withstand this? Impossible! Never has the golem been so sorely tested. I mean, I'm not that the golem can be vanquished. That man is no ordinary adventurer. The fuck happened to Severin? The snake slithered away. I am only glad that he did not have the chance to sink his fangs more deeply into you. Oh, my brain! Those pirates do not belong to any known... The Minson faction? Whom do they serve? The Beast Tribes? Surely not. The timing of their appearance coincides all too neatly with the recent surge in Sahagin and Kobold activity. Something is afoot. The question is, what? Could it be that the tribes are planning to summon their primal? 12 help us if it should prove so. Limsa would be hard pressed to keep a single primal at bay, let alone 2. But all is yet speculation. I must needs find evidence. He continues to rise, while the lesser moon continues to fall, and ilm by ilm the world becomes ever more unlike itself. It's as Louis Soir foretold. Coming chaos has rendered the laws of nature mutable, blurring the boundaries between material and ethereal planes. Little now stands between us and the primals. But they are not here yet. Though time be against us, hope shall ever be on our side. Never did the creed of Charlian ring more true. Never did I dream that I would possess the means to see ether. Yet now that I do begin to take it for granted. How swiftly do the wonders of Charlian seem commonplace. Here, for you. Have you come for the festivities? Today the Maelstrom officially makes the Great Hole in the Sea its training ground. Join in the celebration! Wait. An etheric disturbance, a disturbance in the etheric flow. But whence does it emanate? Sea Song Grotto, perhaps? What have we here? Can you walk? His eye, regrettably no, he eluded me. Understood. I will inform the Commodore. 64. You collapsed from your exertions. Are you suitably recovered? Severin here has appraised me of all that transpired. His account sheds some light upon how you came to be attacked by a golem of all things. A golem is a mindless automaton, inert save when commanded to do otherwise. Common pirates could not hope to control such a thing, so arcane are at its workings. But then these tattooed wretches are no common pirates. They are the minions of Sahagin. As to their purpose, well, I shall get to the bottom of it. But first I must escort Severin back to his place of employment. I dare say Stalwart will be wondering what has become of him. And you too, for that matter. I will bear word of him, of your preservation. But I am certain he would like to thank you in person. Pray, pay the man a visit. Ah, he told me of you, but perchance he did not tell you of me. My name is Shtola. I am a naturalist of sorts, surveying the aether in hopes that I might offer up some clues as to our predicament. I'd say I owe you my life. That uncovered. If it weren't for you, my friends would be dead and all. 'Tis a debt I can never repay. But I'll not make things worse by running away. Take me to Summerford Farm and I'll face the consequences. For reasons I cannot fathom, you seem... Forgive me. Mayhaps we shall have a chance to speak again when I have marshaled my thoughts. Until I pass the next cross, farewell. And yours and all adventures, I've caused more than my fair share of trouble during my time here. Not that you need telling. Lo, I knew you'd return. Stola delivered Severin a bit ago. Tales of your heroic deeds precede you. The rest came shuffling back too, the lot of them sporting the same haunted expression. It's me who's to blame, that and the rest. I was once a serpent reaver, a thrall to the Sahagin, 7 hells. Reavers may look sound and act like pirates, but they're not but the fishbacks flunkies. Us pirates ain't much for laws, but there's things we won't do. We've got a code, see? But the Reavers never followed a word of it. A few years back, they started snatching law-abiding Lamincians. I'd only just taken the oath when our captain bent the knee to his new Sahagin masters. I knew I had to get away. So I crept off one night, got myself a new name, and found myself a new home, Summerford Farms. Trouble is, secrets don't stay secret for long around here, and word soon spread all the way back to the sea. The penalty for desertion is death, but the Reavers offer me a way out instead my freedom in exchange for my mates. The letter. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't bloody thinking. Too busy soiling myself. Aye, but you got there in the end, didn't you? When the time came, you made the right decision. The men say little to me, but I hear 'em talk of how you stood up to the Reavers at the last, of how you tried to give your life to save theirs. Be that as it may, no deed, however good, can atone for the crime of betraying your own brethren. I know that, I do. So I'm going to hand myself over to the Yellow Jackets. I'll bring shame to the farm no more. You'll hear no argument from me. Each man must sail according to his own moral compass. I just hope yours guides you back here someday. There will always be a place for you at Summerford Farms, lad. And I'll always be in your debt, Stalwart. I owe you a debt too, Endo. Not once have you let me down. Thank you for saving the men of my farm. If I could ask one more favor of you, it'd be this: tell Batterin what happened from start to finish. I'm certain he'll put in a good word for Severin if he knew the whole story. And he's one of the few people I know who the Yellow Jackets will listen to. Well, I reckon I'll have asked you all I possibly can. Asked all I can of you possibly. Second take. Well, I reckon I've asked all I can possibly ask of you. Safe travels, sons. Bloody hell's life on the farm ain't quite how I pictured it. But you needn't worry yourself over young Severin. The Yellow Jacket as Anne's out the punishment is a good mate of mine. If I ask him nice, I reckon he'd be willing to commute the lad's sentence down from hanging to kill, and kindly gent it is. I'm only jesting with you. I'll see he's treated fair. Now, it sounds to me Like, you've done everything all Stalwin asked you, and more, justifying me great generous finder's fee in the process. Much obliged, lad. As a reward, well, she's a lonely lady, this drowning wench of mine. How do you fancy keeping her company for a spell with free room and board? Venturing's a tyrant business, after all. Thems as don't rest their bones every now and again tend to end up with broken ones. And take it from me, fighting ain't nearly so much fun when you're nursing a shattered arm. Got that? Good. There's always be a free bed for ye, so make use of it. Not that you'll have much time for lying around with all these leaves you'll be doing. Oh, didn't I mention? I'm putting your name down for leaves. Our guild draws all manners of clients offering all manner of odd jobs. Honestly, you'd be amazed on how much folks will pay to avoid doing an honest day's labor. Just give Tomokri a shout whenever you feel like making a few extra gil. She'll always have some tasks or others for you to do. Oh, and it's all above board, of course, in case you're wondering. We're careful to stay on the Admiral's right side in here, unlike some pirates I could mention. I tell you, if it turns out I had aught to do with them kidnapping, there'll be 7 hells to pay, a proper bleeding reckoning. Mayhaps that's what Limsa needs, though. On rough seas, sometimes you have to rock the boat a bit to ride it. But we'll have time for such talk when you're well and ready. Till then, enjoy the wench's hospitality. Yeah! Provoke! Oh yeah, they made that, Where do I keep Provoke? Where the fuck do I keep Provoke? Isn't it double tap circle? Yeah, double tap circle. Yeah, because that's Tomahawk. Yeah, double tap circle.